Yeah, I think so. Hi, this is Kaushik Ranchod. Welcome to our live cast. I want to welcome everyone here. If you just are entering, please let me know where you're from. Like to see where everyone is from. And today we're going to be answering your questions. My name is Kaushik Ranchod. I'm an immigration attorney. I've been practicing for over 23 years. And we are going to be answering your questions live. So I want to welcome you all here. I hope you had a wonderful Super Bowl weekend. For those of you who are in the Super Bowl, myself, I'm not actually that into football, but I did enjoy the halftime. So I want to welcome you. For everyone who has joined the live cast, go ahead and post your questions below. So first, I want to talk about some updates of what is going on. So one thing that you should be aware of is the H-1B registration is now will be open on March 7th to March 24th. So it's really important that your employer is getting ready to do the registration process if you are going to apply for an H-1B. Again, the H-1B is a specialty occupation visa. To qualify for that, the job needs to be in a specialty occupation. It needs to require specialized knowledge, typically a bachelor's degree or equivalent experience. And that's what the job needs to require. So an example of those types of typical positions that would qualify would be a software engineer or an architect, something that requires a bachelor's degree and that requires specialized knowledge. So that is coming up. If you are wanting to proceed with that process, you should be looking for a job now, or if you're an employer, you should be interviewing candidates right now to get ready for that process. So that is H-1B process. Another update was there was a memo leaked by USCIS and social media. It was talking about the U visas and victims of crimes on there. So some people are worried about, well, is the U visa going to go away? No, that was authorized by Congress. So the U visa can't just be taken away. However, if you have been ordered removed before, you could be possibly put into removal if you have a pending U visa application. So those are some new updates. So now I'm going to just start answering some questions. So we have a question here from Arvin about the I-601 backlog. Will the I-601 backlog be fixed in 2025? I don't think it will. The Biden administration was not able to fix it. It only got worse. And so I don't think Trump has any incentive or wants to try to fix the problem. So I don't see it getting better. I only see it getting worse. Okay. So we have a question here from Veer from Instagram. What year and month processing the U visa, please? So Veer, we recently got an approval for the U visa in January 2017. So we have seen it. It is inching. It is moving along. It's not at a standstill. So those cases are moving along, and so that's good news. All right, we'll continue to take your questions, and you can post them in the chat if you have questions. I also want to talk about one of the biggest mistakes I'm seeing with J-1 waivers, and that is just the timing. And I think that's because it's not intuitive that J-1 exceptional hardship waivers are taking so long. So it's taking anywhere from 19 and a half months to 2 years. And I'm seeing a lot of people coming in where their status expired or having consultations with me where their status expires after a year and a half. And so it really requires a lot of planning and making sure that you apply early as you can, so you don't have to be out of status while you're waiting for your waiver application, or you don't have to leave the United States. All right. I'm going to just wait for some more questions to come in. And if you're just joining, let us know in the chat where you are watching from. And you can go ahead and post in the chat. Another question that we've been getting are, what are my alternatives if I'm unable to do the J1 waiver? In that situation, you want to look at the O1 visa. You could look at the O1 visa if you do qualify. That is a visa where you have to have exceptional ability, or F1 student visa. You cannot change status if you're subject to the 2-year home residency requirement, but you could go back to your home country, get the visa stamp in your home country, and then come back to the US. So we have a question here. How from our Facebook crowd, so their visa is expiring, and their J1 visa is expiring June 2026. How soon do you apply? So the answer is yesterday or now, because just you want to walk back from, or you want to count 2 years from now. So right now it's January 2025. So I would allow about 2 years. So that'd be January 2027. So you want to try to apply for your J1 waiver as soon as possible, because right now there could already be a gap. So in that situation, you'd have to look at how you're going to solve that gap, or leave the United States and wait the remaining time outside the United States if your J1 waiver is not approved. This is the longest that we have seen J1 waivers take. At one point in time, believe it or not, we were getting them approved in around 6 months. All right, we have someone from Boston and Cincinnati. Boston, I love Boston. I think that's a beautiful, beautiful city. So great to have you here from Boston. So we do have a question. If you've been in removal proceedings before, there is a possibility, and you have a pending new visa application, there is a possibility that you could still be put into removal. So before, it was a policy that we didn't see USCIS normally do that. And with this administration, that could be a possibility, and we'll have to see if that does happen. And this is specifically with U visas. Okay, so here we have a question from Instagram. So are you saying that J1 waivers are processing 2 years? Does that depend on the country? So let's clarify. Thank you for that question. This is specifically for exceptional hardship waivers. So this doesn't apply to no objection waivers, which are much faster. And this also applies to persecution waivers. In those situations, it applies to those specific types of waivers. It can range anywhere from 1.5 years to 2 years, but I would allow 2 years. And in this specific situation, it doesn't really matter what country you are from, unless you have U.S. government funding. If you have U.S. government funding, then they may ask for sponsor views, and that could increase the amount of time that it takes for the government to make a decision. Okay. We have a question from Sir Arnold. Hi, Arnold, from the U.S. Virgin Islands. Boy, that's supposed to be very beautiful. Lucky you. All right, you're currently here working on a J1 visa as a teacher. We do many J1 waivers for teachers. And you guys are doing such great work. There's a shortage of teachers in the U.S., so we need you. Our children need you. Your wife just had a baby. Congratulations. And you're planning to file an exceptional hardship waiver. Contract is going to end July 2027. All right. So that is, let's see, that's about 2.5 years from now. So now is a good time to start planning. Keep in mind that it's going to take your lawyer some time to prepare the application. It's also going to take you some time to gather all the documentation. And keep in mind that we've also seen applications increase in processing time. So it would behoove you to file sooner rather than later, because we have not seen applications decrease with J1 waivers. We've only seen them increase within the last few years. So that's another point to take into consideration as well. I hope that helped, Arnold. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for attending our weekly live cast. We'll see you next week. We are going to continue to keep you informed. If you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us at 916-613-3553. And you can connect with us that way. You can also email us at info@ranchodlaw.com. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day, and we will see you soon. Bye now.